Welcome to the Shango Diaries, written by Madison, where love gets messy, the past never really stays in the past, and the heart wants what it wants, even when the mind says nah. It's real, it's raw, and it's got all the highs, lows, late night texts, and unanswered questions that come with falling hard for someone who might not be ready to catch you. So, press play, get comfortable, and step into Monica's world, where passion and chaos go hand in hand, and the truth, well, it's complicated. This is the Shango Diaries. Let's get into it. This week on the Shango Diaries, Monica is not just pitching a show, she's building a brand. Looking for Mr. Big has real money on the table, $150,000 per episode, but only if she keeps it clean, sharp, and nothing like Flavor of Love. Meanwhile, Iron Ring is imploding. The network wants the masters. Monica wants control, and she's not backing down. Shango, still chaotic, still irresistible. He says, there's a ceiling for us. She says, this is not the end, it's a turning point. She's packing her things, leaving the house, but not the dream. And even as it all unravels, Monica is still producing wins. This is episode 21. The deal is real, the love is slipping, and the game is on.
Welcome to another episode delving into the Shango Diaries by Madison, online dating vintage 2008.
And this week, we're really focusing in on week 21.
Yeah, week 21. And honestly, you see Monica just navigating, well, a real storm, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. It feels pivotal. She's got this super intense back and forth with Shango.
Right, that on-again, off-again energy.
Exactly. And at the same time, she's pushing so hard on her career ambitions.
It really feels a crossroads.
It does. The recap paints week 21 as a pressure cooker. You know, the whole emotional weight with Shango, the silence, the longing, those vague Africa plans, and that's slamming right into the work stress. Iron Ring, finishing up, the legal troubles with the network.
And you see her relying on her friend Todd and those spiritual affirmations she mentions.
Yeah, it shows her resilience, I think, but also the sheer amount of change she's facing. Vulnerability and strength all mixed together.
Okay, so to really get into that dynamic with Shango, let's look at their emails from Wednesday, April 16th, 2008.
Good place to start.
So right away, Shango's setting up a car service for her trip.
And he says, I don't trust a cab.
Okay, I have to admit, that's kind of sweet, right? That little protective streak.
It definitely shows he cares on some level. Her safety, her comfort, even when she's not there. It's a notable gesture.
And Monica's reply, straight to business. What about the other bills?
Yeah, it brings you right back to the practicalities, doesn't it? Their shared life, even if it feels, well, precarious.
Then Shango's next email is, it's actually pretty funny.
Oh, the domestic one.
Yeah. He messes up the zip code for the car, runs down the electric and heat bills, and then that line, playing in the yard, cleaning house, being domestic and shit.
Yeah.
It shows this other side of him, like more laid back, almost goofy, a contrast to the usual intensity.
It's a really interesting juxtaposition, isn't it? You've got that protective sort of provider vibe, and then this very modern, self-aware humor about doing housework. Even the zip code mistake makes him seem more, well, human. A bit of lightness there.
But at the same time this is happening, Monica's also emailing Nakia.
Right, about her new show idea.
Looking for Mr. Big, and she sounds really excited, like buzzing about the concept.
Which just shows her ability to juggle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
She's handling the Shango complexities, the work pressure.
And still pitching new ideas.
Exactly. It really highlights her ambition, that drive. She keeps pushing forward no matter what else is going on. Quite remarkable, really.
And then, like, almost right after that pitch email, she sends this really flirty one to Shango.
Ah, yes. About his voice.
Tells him she loves his voice, how much she desires him. Even asks, playfully, if she could possibly desire him more.
The connection is just so palpable, even in text.
It really underscores the passion in their relationship, you know, whatever issues are lurking. There's this incredibly strong physical and emotional pull. Her being so direct, that little question. It shows intimacy, even if the whole thing feels unstable.
It's definitely not just about logistics between them. There's a powerful bond.
We also get Nakia's reply about the show concept.
Yeah, and she mentioned she's working on an NBC show herself with Al Roker Productions, I think.
Right. And she says she misses Iron Ring, which says something about that experience, maybe.
Or the bond they formed working on it together. And she sounds genuinely excited for Monica's project.
It's good to see that support system she has outside of Shango.
Yeah, definitely. Nakia's response is a valuable perspective. Her nostalgia for Iron Ring, her enthusiasm for Monica's idea, it validates Monica's efforts, shows she's not alone in this.
And then, to kind of cap off this first burst of emails, Shango replies to Monica's flirty message.
The one about the heels.
Yep. Pretty suggestive. Talks about her heels and the effect they have on him.
Very direct. Very sensual. Leaves little doubt about that physical chemistry we were just discussing.
Right. It's concise, powerful, highlights how central that physical side is for them.
Even if it's not always, the most stable thing to build on.
So just looking at that one day, Wednesday the 16th, wow, there's so much packed in there. The caring gestures, the humor, the career drive, the intense desire, and always that undercurrent of something unsettled.
It really feels like a snapshot, doesn't it? Online dating 2008 style.
Totally. It's such an intimate look at her life then, balancing personal, professional. It still feels very relatable, I think.
It absolutely does. What really stands out for you from just that Wednesday?
Maybe just how Monica seems to compartmentalize or maybe juggle.
Mm.
The bills with Shango, the creative brainstorming with Nakia, the flirty texts, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, her ability to keep all those balls in the air is impressive. It speaks volumes about her focus, maybe her resilience.
Or maybe just necessity, given everything hitting her at once. Okay, so let's see how the rest of the week plays out.
Right, so moving into Thursday, April 17th, Monica sends an email expressing, really intense physical desire for Shango.
Yeah, she basically says he's above any other man she's known. It's quite a declaration.
It is very powerful in that moment.
And Shango's reply, wow, it's sharp.
A little possessive, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. He lists his financial contributions, calls it the Shango Foundation, and then ends demanding meatloaf. It's such a weird mix, isn't it? Like affection and assertion.
It's fascinatingly complex. You have the blunt reminder of the money, which, brings in a power dynamic.
Definitely.
But then the meatloaf request, it's almost mundane, suggests this weird domestic comfort or expectation, a real clash between the transactional and the familiar.
Meanwhile, Monica's still updating Nakia.
Keeping her in the loop on the reality show pitch.
And casually referring to Shango as her hot boyfriend.
It seems like those friendships were a key source of validation for her, for both the career stuff and the relationship, despite its issues. A way to feel grounded.
Okay, Friday, April 18th, we hear Monica mention taking Tylenol at David's, but then huge news. She successfully pitched Hip Rock Bowling.
Yes, big win.
They loved it, and she's made a producer. That's a massive step up.
It really is. A major professional breakthrough. Shows real confidence in her vision.
And there was that interesting bit of advice, don't discuss budget amounts yourself.
Right, which highlights knowing your value, having the right team, maybe. Smart advice as she moves up.
And the wins keep coming on Friday. She emails Shango.
Acknowledging his positive influence, which is interesting.
Right after mentioning her 6-month relationship lifespan comment. Pretty direct. But then she details the other successful pitch. Looking for Mr. Big. Investors are interested.
Another huge step.
And she assures them it won't be like flavor of love. And importantly, she thanks Shango for his help.
That thank you feels significant given everything else.
Yeah.
It shows she does recognize his contribution, even with her doubts about them long term. Securing investors is massive.
We also see her emailing Todd, her friend.
Sharing the Hip Rock Bowling producer news.
Yeah, full of excitement. And then later, she updates him again, looking for Mr. Big. Investment is moving forward. Shango's attorney is involved.
Wow.
And she's now got the title executive producer.
Executive producer. Okay, her career is seriously taking off this week. Todd's support clearly means a lot, and getting Shango's lawyer involved shows real belief in the project. Things are happening.
Then, late Friday, Shango sends a really long email.
The lawyer recommendation one.
Yes. He suggests Lisa Davis tells that great story about her representing Beverly Johnson, really hyping her up as this powerhouse entertainment lawyer.
Which is, a pretty significant gesture of support for Monica's career. A serious recommendation.
Definitely. And then he gets into their relationship. Talks about his consistency, says he's not opportunistic.
While acknowledging her ambition.
It's a very complex message.
Yeah.
Revealing, maybe? He's trying to define himself and their dynamic.
Yeah, asserting his integrity, perhaps, while being aware of how things might look.
Yeah.
It's a lot to unpack in one email.
Then Saturday night hits, and Shango sends an email titled, "I lied."
Oh, boy. Okay.
You brace yourself, right. But then he apologizes for lying about a fundamental issue.
Yeah.
And then lists mundane things he needs from Walmart. Toothpaste, light bulbs.
Wait, what? That's it?
That's it. It's the weirdest anticlimax. What was the fundamental lie?
Whoa. Okay, that is bizarre. Talk about mixed signals.
Yeah.
Leaves you completely hanging. Adds another layer of instability for sure.
Then later on Saturday, another email from Shango. This one feels more thoughtful.
Okay.
He mentions talking to a friend about them, about their dynamic. Says again he wants her to succeed, doesn't want anything back. Acknowledges they might be on different paths, but still have respect and affection. Feels like he's maybe processing the end.
That sounds much more sincere. Like he's trying to be honest about where they are. The different paths idea, the mutual respect. It suggests a level of acceptance, maybe. Trying to end it with some care.
Monica's reply is also really thoughtful. A bit sad, though.
How so?
Well, she questions him a bit. Like, do you really want different things? Are you really not interested in what's important to me?
Okay. Pushing back a little.
Yeah, but gently. She still says she loves and respects his decision to part ways and expresses hope for finding love again. You feel that mix of acceptance and maybe confusion, hurt.
It sounds very raw, very real. Processing his words, expressing her own feelings, looking forward. Resilient even while acknowledging the pain.
Then Sunday morning, just a short, practical email from Monica.
What did it say?
Starting to move my things.
Wow. Okay. That makes it concrete, doesn't it? The physical separation beginning.
Yeah. And then Monday, Monica emails Todd with quite the update.
Oh. More career news.
Not exactly. She mentioned she has another man, Mohit, kind of waiting in the wings after Shango.
Seriously?
Already.
Yep. And says Mohit arrived safely in London. So Monica doesn't seem to stay single for long.
Huh. Okay, that adds another dimension. Pragmatism, coping mechanism. Definitely shows she doesn't stay unattached.
Shango's response on Monday is also something very assertive.
What does he say?
Tells Monica to come to the house in heels with her nails done. Whoa, that's specific. And kind of demanding. Provocative. A real contrast to his reflective emails, isn't it? Back to that controlling, sensual dynamic. Maybe a last grasp, a final assertion of desire. Very striking.
And then finally Wednesday, we see Monica emailing again. Intense thoughts, desires for Shango.
Still feeling that pull.
Yeah. And she messages her friend El Boogie saying Shango is suddenly being really attentive.
Huh. So the push-pull is still going strong right to the end of this snapshot. Maybe his own confusion or a last attempt.
It seems like it. So looking at this whole week, week 21, it's just this incredible tapestry, isn't it?
It really is.
The passion, the complications with Shango, side by side with this fierce ambition and real success. Hip rock bowling, looking for Mr. Big, executive producer.
Yeah, the personal intimacy and the professional drive are just constantly weaving around each other. It's a portrait of a very dynamic woman in a really complex phase of life.
Absolutely. You see the strength, the vulnerability, navigating all these huge forces.
Which is what makes the Shango Diaries so compelling, I think. These contrasting, interconnected parts of her life playing out.
So here's a question for you listening. What do these intimate emails, these career milestones, tell us about ambition and relationships, especially, through that 2008 online dating lens?
That's a great question to ponder. Online dating was still finding its feet then. The speed, the directness, maybe the disposability. It's fascinating to see how it shaped things.
How do you think these dynamics, balancing love, career, self, might have changed since 2008? Or have they stayed fundamentally the same, just maybe faster now?
That's the thing to think about. The platforms are slicker, the volume is higher, but are the core human challenges any different? Balancing connection, ambition, intimacy, maybe those struggles are timeless.
Definitely gives you something to chew on. We'd love to hear what you think about Monica and Shango's intense week. What stood out? What's your take? Join the conversation online and let us know.
She's closer than ever to the money, to the moment, to the man she might have to leave behind. But don't get it twisted. Monica didn't come this far to stall at the edge. She's still got friends, fire, and a folder full of NDAs. Next week, new offers, new ultimatums, and maybe no more Shango. I am M. Madison, and this has been the Shango Diaries. Rate it, share it, screenshot it, and then text it to the one person who needs to hear it. We'll be back, because turning points, that's where legends begin.